Hello everyone, my name's Mark and welcome back to Hemel-Down Model Railway. So today's video is all about the scenic area that I'm going to be doing at the back here. So let's get straight to the video. So I've got my plywood ready and also have my timbers up here. What I'm going to be doing is each one of these boards is 4 foot by 2 foot, so 4 foot in length and 2 foot wide. I'm going to have 2 of these boards, so it will make an 8 foot section, and the 8 foot section will start just from off the curve there, will stretch down to the middle and then off to there, and I will do that on both sides, but first of all I'm just going to concentrate on doing it on this side just because this will be the first area for Scenics and I don't have the points yet to add in the section that's here to do all of the like fiddle yard and coal shed and stuff yet. So I will keep that as an unlaid or unpinned piece of track and just keep it as a single straight there. And then what I will do is work on this section here first, getting all my track work in there. So let's crack on with it. So this is how the extension piece will fit in. What I've done here is just added 2 planks either side and then in with the middle here, so then the second baseboard will join from there and then go up to that piece there, and then they can be screwed down. And then what I'm going to do is also then put a larger sort of fascia bit that will then screw in from these two screws in through here, join up through, and then have a long sort of piece across the front there. So this is halfway through putting this piece in, and then what I'll do is also then attach a couple of legs just to hold this one as flat as I can. Looking at the spirit level and stuff, I think at the moment pretty flat, probably sort of a mil or so out, but once that's sort of lifted up with the legs, and you'll see that it sort of centers right in the middle there. So yeah, all in all, exactly what I wanted. If I bring you around down to this angle, so this is standing at the back of the layout. What I'll then have is, as you can see, the first part which is 2 foot, and then this part which is 2 foot, so that'll make it 4 foot wide. And then I've still got plenty of room where I can reach over. Even if I'm stood from this side, I can still reach over right to the back and get to that sort of scenic section there. What I will do though is probably not fix this top bit down if I'm going to do any sort of scenic work at the back there, just so that I can get to the back. But I'll make this nice and solid so that I can actually lean on it. I'm then going to have just a support through the middle there, so you can see where those 2 screws there, that's my support for the beam underneath the middle there. So what I'll do is I'll just run one directly the same to this point here as well, and then that should make that really nice and solid. So then what the part of the where you can see the curve from this part of the track will then have a little bit of a straight, but then it will sort of bend and snake through up onto that section up there. And then these parts here I will then form like my hillsides and my farmyard scenes and stuff like that. I think it was definitely the way to go with adding a little bit of an extra board on the side here. Just gives me so much more scope for scenics and for angles and stuff as well, because as you can see, it's a bit of an odd shape here, but it gives me plenty of sort of camera angles that I can still get in down the sides of the layout, and you know, do some, you know, camera shots from all around the sides. I didn't want to make it sort of 4 foot on the back here. I just wanted to have it on that side. So if I bring another 2 foot off of this side here as well, still gives me sort of a 3 foot gap or so in the middle here. And then what I will do is I might build just one section off on this side and just use that temporarily for a little bit of a workbench, just so that I can get my Scenics up here and I'm not having to invade on any space, you know, at the kitchen table or anything. I can do 100% of my modelling upstairs. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the final bit of this bit in, so let's crack on and I'll show you the finished result. So this is the legs pre-cut, and looking nice and level, although it doesn't quite match up on this end, because on here you can see that it's not quite flush where I've lined it up properly. So I mean, it's not too much of an issue, it's only a little bit out. I can rectify that by chopping it and stuff, but the other board will go square where it all lines up properly. Up at this end, it's absolutely flat against the side on this one. It's a little bit out in the middle half of this part here. So I don't think it's too much of an issue. And then all I've got to do now is just add the fascia part to the front there to bring this up, and then to add the support in underneath through the bottom there. So this is the front section all fixed in. I've secured 2 sort of 60mm bolts that go through each side of those, and then I'm yet to fix the legs in. I'll probably just do the same thing with the L brackets, and then using a 40mm screw to go through the side on those. And then as you can see on this part, so this is why I went for slightly thicker timbers, so that I could have the join go over, so I'm actually using less wood on cutting like individual legs, because I only wanted to have 3 down this side. So then it rests onto that part. You've got the middle section, and then the other one goes on the end there as well. So I've just measured up on that side there. If I just zoom you in, you can see where excuse me, and see where the 2 marks are in the middle there. So I'm just going to attach the other board, the other plank, and then repeat the same process of what I've done on here. And then all I've got to do then is just put in my middle brace and then secure the tops down. So I'll bring you back once I've fitted the next section on. So this is the section all complete. I've still just got to do the final touches. I still need to secure this middle part in here and fix in 2 of the legs and the under supports. But I've got the basic frame up and it's absolutely solid. As you can see, it's all bolted in nicely. And once I've done the final fix, I should then be able to start planning this part of the track. It was suggested in a comment that I know that I had pinned in with the support under here, but I'm just gonna put a couple of little blocks just on the underside of this as well, just to raise that and make sure that that's lined up properly, and then just put an additional screw in there, just because when you lean on it and stuff, it does move. So I'll just keep that absolutely flat. But looking at that, these sections here where it is a bit raised, they do join up flat. It's just where I haven't screwed the top down yet. I'll just have a little bit of a clean up, and then I'll show you sort of a longer shot so you can actually see kind of the size of what it will be from a distance. Back in a moment. So I've zoomed out on this section of the video just so you can kind of get a gist of where the length of the board comes in, just so you can kind of see it as an overall size. What I've done is I've just been playing around with a little bit of track. I did say I was going to clear up, but I think I've pretty much only just managed to clear the little bit of top here and just shove it all behind. I've still got quite a bit of a state going on down here, but I'll get round to that. So what the reason for this part of the section is that coming off the corner section here, I wanted to have, rather than just a straight piece of running, is to have sort of like a little bit of a bend and curve to go through, sort of like a countryside scene. So this is the whole reason that this section's been added in. Now, the track that you see there, the curves probably will come out a little bit further. I probably will extend it out sort of around this sort of line, bring it a little bit more straight, bringing it back up over, and then coming back into a loop there. And I'll just have to work out that I make the curves as easy flowing as possible, and then to link up with this section here, which is where the fourth radius curve starts in this point here. So I'm gonna have a little play around with that and see how it looks, but that will be kind of the flowing motion rather than just a straight line. I just thought that if I was to bring it down here, that when there's trains coming around these sort of bends here and then going into the straight, you'll start to see a little bit more of the carriages behind it, or any sort of rolling stock that it's pulling. And then equally, when I go down onto this section, I think it just gives some slightly better sort of camera angles. This section here, if I bring you up, sorry about the camera work again. So this part here, there's quite a decent space for some scenic stuff. So what I'm thinking is building some sort of hillsides, maybe this part here where it comes out through a bit of a valley or something like that that's been cut out for the train, with some nice cliff faces. I could even potentially add in a set of points here, because I do hope that it will be kind of a straight section, that maybe I could have either a little quarry scene or something at the other end of like the farm. So I wanted to have farmyard section up on here, because I've got all those like tractors and stuff that I got from my wife. So I wanted to use those up and have some sort of like fields and bits all in the middle here. Maybe like a little sort of station halt or a goods unloading station or something, or depot here. And then maybe I could sort of just have a little siding off here, and maybe I could have like a little slate quarry or something like that. I do remember as a kid going to go and see some of the slate mines up in Wales when I went up towards Snowdon quite a few years ago. So maybe I could just add in some sort of quarry scene or something like that there, just to give something a little bit extra to it. Not 100% sure on that, but if you like the sound of that, or think that's quite a good idea, then please drop me a comment below and let me know. So that's it pretty much for what I've done on this section. I'm just gonna go off now and find some more screws and stuff for the pieces in the middle here and get them braced up. And then what I'm going to do is get some more flexi track out and start having a bit of a play where I'll put like the second line in and stuff like that. The rest of the plan for this week, so I've got a mixture of sort of days on and days off up until Thursday evening. So what I'll be doing is finalizing whereabouts the track's going to be, getting all the cork cut down, and then I'll be fixing that part down. I'm thinking of painting this sort of maybe a brown colour or something, because it will be a lot of like the countryside scene. And then equally I might just do another, maybe a grey for a quarry sort of scene over on this side. I think, you know, more of it is just that it's protecting the boards rather than just having them plain as they are. So once I've fixed down this part of the track here, I'll then continue to have the loop that I have at the moment. I will continue to have that and keep it as it is, and just work off of this section here. So basically I'm just going to do bit by bit. I've decided that I'll keep in some of the sections up the back there not fixed down, but to keep them joined together, just so that I can do sort of track testing before I put, you know, the final screws in or anything like that. I just want to make sure that every single loco runs around these curves absolutely fine with no problems at all, to make sure that all my spacings in between the tracks are done, especially with the heat and stuff. I want to make sure that there is a little bit of a gap in there between the tracks. A couple of people have mentioned just to make sure that I've got my spacing in between. So yeah, something that I'll definitely be doing and making sure. I did do that. If you can see, if I bring you in, just there I have left sort of a gap in there. It's probably a bit too much now because I've you know, moved my track around a little bit. But I'll make sure I'll sort of get the correct spacing and that's all lined up properly. Right, so thank you very much for joining me on this bit of an update. I hope you agree that this section is looking pretty good, and it's definitely a worthwhile thing to do. Like I say, that's now given me a 4-foot wide board that I can do loads more with. I've still got my project that I'm working on for the back there. I'm currently building a Metcalfe viaduct, or a few of them should I say. So if you're interested in seeing a little video of me just making that up, I'm not just gonna sort of make it a how-to, but if you just want to see a little bit of the process of it, I'm happy to share that with you. Just let me know. And I've got another little plan for making some hillsides in between sort of where the viaduct goes and stuff like that. So there's a couple of little, you know, additions that I will add to that, just to kind of make that scene set off at the back here. So this is, you know, going to be the first scene that I really get some scenics done, just so that I can have one part of the layout done. I don't want to do it all in one go and just do bits here, there and everywhere. I am going to stick to doing one section at a time. Right, I'm just waffling on because I'm getting quite excited that I'm at that track laying stage. So I'm going to leave this video here, because the longer I talk filming a video is the longer that I'm not getting any track down, and I need to get some trains running again and get this section all sorted so that I can have a decent little running session. Just want to say a massive thank you again quickly to all the subscribers that have joined me recently. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to reply to everybody's comments on one of my previous videos. Sorry about that. I was just so busy with work. I just put kind of likes on them and stuff. But I will, over the next few days, take time to see if I can go back and do some comments on those, and equally on the comments for the running session video that I put out a couple of days ago. Anyway, thanks very much for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this update, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing what I do on the next one, which should hopefully be out for the weekend. Right, stay safe everyone, take care, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.